Hello guys, how are you? How have you been? My name is Daniel and I welcome you in my YouTube channel. I'm reminding the new viewers, you've just seen this channel for the first time. Please do subscribe and then we shall be able to interact together here. In this channel we share messages of God in different topics. We have been doing a series in the book of Nehemiah, and we discussed up to chapter 12. And then I did promise that I will bring the last part of these discussions. And then we would conclude about this book of Nehemiah. So today I want us to finish up and conclude about this book and try to think about the lessons which we get from the entire book. And I know that it will be helpful for us. So in chapter 13, you realize that Nehemiah, after doing a good job from chapter 1 to chapter 12, there are many things which Nehemiah did, and many of these things were to build Israel and repair the wall and restore order of worship and restore the Torah and restore the people of God and the ordinances of God in Israel. So when Nehemiah did all these things, he went back to the king, and then some later on he returned back to Jerusalem. Now when you read chapter 13, you find that it appears that the work which Nehemiah did, trying to restore the people, trying to recognize the Sabbath and the law of Yahweh, and trying to bring these people into realization of their roots and their interaction with God. When he left, it appears that these people really forgot some of the things which they had even taken oath that they are going to do. Remember these people and taken an oath that they were going to serve in the house of God, and that they are going to give themselves to the law, and they are going to all give support to the house of God. And they also said that they are not going to intermarry with other religions, that is other surrounding communities, according to the requirements of the law. But when Nehemiah comes, one thing he realizes that one of the guys, there is this man called Eliashib, the priest, who had been put in charge of the storehouse of God. And this man was not was closely associated with the Tobias. And so he provided a room for this man in the house of God where the grain offering was used to be kept. This was one of the things which was very odd, which Nehemiah found. And then he also found that these people had already intermarried with the foreigners. So Nehemiah here, as human beings, he is very discouraged and is very sad about what's happening. And then he prays for these people that God may restore them. And then the last verse is that he purified the Levites. And then he prayed that the Lord may have mercy upon these people. And then we see the end of the book. So that is how this book ends. We've seen from the chapter 1, the rebuilding, the information coming to Nehemiah that the walls in Jerusalem have been broken down. Then through to chapter 6, the repair of all of the wall, and then teaching the people the Torah with Ezra. Now these people swear that they are going to follow the law, and then we see how they come to end. The question we are posing tonight is, what are the lessons we are learning we learn from Nehemiah? One of the things which we see here is the faithfulness of God, because in the books of law, like even in Genesis, God did promise Abraham that his descendants will go to a foreign land, and then Egypt, and then he would restore them back to their promised land. God was faithful and he did so. And then you realize that God also did promise that if these people will be taken to exile and will remember his ways and then return to him, then he will gather them from among the nations and bring them back to this place, that's Jerusalem, and restore them. And that's what God is doing. So at the end of the day, we are seeing a compassionate God and a faithful God who does not give up upon his people. When we look on the behavior of the Israelites in this book, we may see them as very forgetful people who forget so fast, people who are stubbornate, people who don't want to follow the obvious, people who have leaders but don't want to listen to them. But what you realize is that this very character which you see with these people, it is the very character which we have even today as Christians. The Lord is faithful and he has been good all the time, having sent his son Jesus Christ to die for us. But we need to be reminded every time. I think we are alive because of the mercies of God, that we are counted as children of God, not based on our works, but on what God has done, that our sins have been forgiven. And now the Lord is still following us, working with us day and night, encouraging us so that we make it to that promise which he has given us. So what I want to encourage someone tonight is that in your struggle, you just need to involve God that is going to stand with you, because he's the one who has promised. If you have believed into what he has given, that is his son Jesus Christ, then you are sure that you are going to emerge victoriously. So those are some of the things we can pick from this book of Nehemiah. For those who have not been following our teachings in this book, there are several videos which have been uploaded in this channel. You can start from where we started this series, and then you can see the faithfulness of God and how God is vindicated faithful by the history and the life of Israelites. And then there is a lot which comes out from this book in as much as leadership is concerned. God puts good desires in the heart of Nehemiah, and he abandons him to go out and play his cause for the salvation of Israel. Yeah, God is very deliberate in this salvation, but he uses Nehemiah, and he provides a way out. In all challenges, he protects him to the end, despite a lot of opposition and a lot of confusion which was there and discouragement. He raised a leader who was equal to the task. This is to say that God does not call us into wild goose chase. He calls us to a journey which he knows that we can accomplish. If the Lord has loved us once, he will love us to the end. We just need to listen to him and walk unto him and with him unto the end. So feel encouraged, strengthen yourself, and move ahead. So have a good night, have a nice day. In case of any question, feel free to contact us through our emails as displayed on the screen and our contacts, and you shall be of great blessings. We shall think of which other book we are going to start, and then I encourage all of us to be part of it, and it shall be a great blessing. May the Lord bless you and do you good. Remember to subscribe to the channel and encourage us as we encourage you. Be blessed. Bye.